Her shirt lifted when she reached for the towel. Just a second. Just long enough for the cold fluorescent light in the locker room to reveal the sharp, raised ridges carved across her small back. I froze. My son froze beside me. The whole world seemed to stop breathing. He whispered before I could shut him down. "Dad, did someone do that to her?" His voice cracked like thin ice. Mine didn't. Couldn't. Because my lungs had locked tight. Those marks, they weren't random. They weren't the playful scrapes of an energetic child. They weren't from falling on pavement or bumping a wall. They were patterned. Intentional. A message carved into the skin of an 8-year-old girl who trusted the world far more than it trusted her. My niece didn't notice the silence that swallowed us. She kept humming, some silly cartoon tune she always repeated whenever she was nervous. Nervous? That word rolled through my mind like a warning siren. I didn't like it. Not one bit. My sister had begged me just an hour earlier. "Please, just take them to the gym pool. I'm exhausted. I need a break." Her voice had trembled. Not the tired kind. Not the overwhelmed kind. The frightened kind. And I had heard it, really heard it, but pushed it aside, convincing myself she was just spiraling again, the way she does when stress pulls at the weak places inside her. But now, staring at those marks, a cold, sharp certainty cut beneath my ribs. Something was wrong. Terribly wrong. And she knew. I swallowed hard, forcing air into my lungs, forcing my face into something calm. Children notice everything, even the lies adults use to protect them. "Grab your things," I said quietly. "We're going home." I didn't raise my voice. Didn't make a scene. Panic is loud. Truth requires silence. And I needed the truth. The drive home felt fragile, like the air might shatter. My son kept glancing at her in the rearview mirror. My niece held her arms around herself, small and defensive, like someone always bracing for a blow she could not predict. My sister's house sat crooked at the end of a cracked cul-de-sac, worn down like everything inside it. The porch light was still on, even though it was midday. A strange, unsettling detail. She opened the door before we could even knock. Her eyes flew instantly to her daughter's back. Too fast. Too sharp. Too guilty. She forced a smile that didn't belong on her face. "Everything okay?" I studied her. Exhaustion. Fear. Guilt. All of it hiding under lipstick that wasn't applied right. Lipstick meant to create the illusion of control she didn't have. "We need to talk," I said. Her smile crumbled into dust. Inside, the kids ran off to the living room. The house went quiet, except for the low hum of the refrigerator and the loud, heavy thudding of my heart. "What happened to her back?" I asked. Her lips trembled. Her head shook too fast, too hard. "Scratches from the dog," she whispered. "You don't have a dog." The lie cracked her open. She folded against the counter like her knees had given up on holding her upright. "You wouldn't understand," she whispered. "That sentence always means the opposite. I just need to know who did it." Her fingers gripped her sleeves so tightly her knuckles turned white. Her eyes darted, not at me but toward the hallway. Toward the room where her husband usually slept until noon, claiming night shifts that somehow never added up. My stomach tightened. My sister had always been fragile, easy to manipulate, easy to mold, easy to convince she was the problem. Men like him always found the soft spots first. I had seen signs before. But this time, the signs were carved into a child. And she still wasn't talking. Not yet. I didn't confront him. Not then. Silent anger is a tool, not a weapon. Rage burns fast, precision burns deep. I needed precision. That night, after dropping my son home, I sat at the dining table, laptop open, emotions locked behind thick glass. I dug through search histories, background checks, financial records, social media archives. And slowly, patterns emerged like a monster rising from fog. Small recurring money transfers to a clinic across town. A clinic specializing in behavioral interventions for minors. He had bookmarked articles about punishment techniques, old, cruel, archaic practices dressed up in clinical language to make them look acceptable. But the real break didn't come from the internet. It came from my niece. When I called my sister to check in, I heard something small in the background. Soft, shaky murmuring. A voice trying not to be heard. Dad says don't tell, she whispered. And don't show Uncle the marks. My blood iced. People think screams reveal truth. They don't. Silence does. The next morning, I went to the clinic. They refused to give me records. I expected that. Privacy laws are strong, but people are weak. Administrators gossip during lunch breaks. They smoke behind the building. They slip. I found one outside. I showed her a photo of my brother-in-law. Has this man brought a child in recently? Her flinch, small, quick, betrayed, told me everything. I didn't need the files. I had the truth already. But truth is a knife. And you don't swing a knife wildly. You place it gently in someone's hands until they realize they've been bleeding a long time. I returned to my sister's house that evening. He opened the door. His shirt was wrinkled from sleep. His eyes cold. His smirk smug, so sure he controlled the entire world. I handed him a folder. Thin. Almost empty. What's this? He asked. A question, I said. Inside were printed photos from the clinic's website, the articles he had saved, a screenshot of his transfers. Not enough for court. Enough for conscience. He flipped through the pages. With every page, his smirk withered. You don't know anything, he muttered. But his voice shook. I stepped closer. Then explain the marks. His throat bobbed. His breath stumbled. For the first time, I witnessed him realizing he was cornered. My sister entered behind him, pale and trembling. She saw the folder. Saw his face. What did you do? She whispered. Not to me. To him. Her voice cracked, different than I had ever heard. He reached for her. She stepped back. And in that single movement, something inside her, years of denial, fear, warped loyalty, finally shattered. I didn't yell. Didn't threaten. Didn't call the police. Not yet. Instead, I said the one sentence I knew would break him from the inside out. She told me everything. He turned pale, white as paper. My revenge was simple, I continued softly. Psychological. I've already filed a report. The mandatory investigation starts tomorrow morning. The blood drained from his face entirely. You think they'll believe this? He rasped. They don't have to, I said. They only have to look. My sister moved beside me, her hand gripping the counter for balance, but standing taller than I had ever seen her stand. He looked between us, me, her, the folder, the truth, and in that moment he knew. He had already lost. The control he clung to was gone. He turned and walked to the bedroom, closing the door as if shutting it could stop the consequences marching toward him. It couldn't. My sister sank into a chair. I didn't comfort her. Comfort is for wounds that can be covered with tape and hope. This wound needed daylight. You're leaving him, I said. Not a suggestion. A lifeline. She nodded. Eyes hollow. But clear. The house felt different then. Lighter. Safer. Nothing had changed yet, except her. Except me. I walked outside into the cold evening air. My hands steady. My heartbeat calm. Some truths destroy you. Others free you. This one did both. As I started the car, I looked back at the small, dim house, still fragile, but no longer silent. I exhaled. He won't touch her again. And for the first time all day, the world felt still. Cold. Correct. Final. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to the Pacesetters for more amazing stories.